Okay, welcome back to the Monday edition of 4stars Tasty Sports. Of course, your sports presenter. My name is Kankyenewola, as usual. This is your sports headquarters. In fact, over the weekends, we have witnessed an exciting games over the weekend. So I'm here to give you the review of the games that happen over the weekend. So we will start with the EPL, the most exciting league in the world. So let's get into action. So looking at the EPL, so let's start with Aston Villa over there. So over the weekends at the Villa Park, they waited for Nottingham Forest at the Villa Park, and indeed they shown that this season they are also let's say they are part of the league contenders. So um, they were able to beat Nottingham Forest by 3 goals to nil, which is very important because going into this game, I was very optimistic that Aston Villa would get the job done, and indeed they have shown said this season they are also part of the league contenders. So it is a 3-1 win for Aston Villa over there. So at the Wolverhampton Wanderers home ground, they waited for West Ham, a struggling West Ham United. Indeed, yes. So Wolves were also they were able to negotiate very well with West Ham United by beating them by 3 goals to nil, which is very important for them because at least it will make them be in the middle of the table, the league table. So it was very important win for them. So that is it. At the American Express Post Stadium, Brighton and Hove Albion also negotiated very well with Burnley. So they beat Burnley by 2 goals to nil over there, which is also very important. Congratulations to them because it is a very good win for over there. Let's talk about the Arsenal and the Bournemouth game at the Vitality Sports Stadium. The informed Arsenal, they went all the way to the Vitality Sports Stadium to negotiate with the Bournemouth team, which is very good results over there for Arsenal because they really need this win, and they were able to negotiate very well with Bournemouth by scoring them 3 goals to nil. So Mikel Arteta and his boys, they are they are showing us something that this season is indeed their season. All fingers are being pointed at them, saying that Arsenal should win this season Premier League, and it is obvious they are playing very well and they are defending very well as well. So Arsenal 3-0, 3-2 over there for Arsenal. So let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They also waited for Sunderland and they negotiated with them, but the bargaining price, I think they all agree to play 1-1 draw over there. So it is 1-1 draw for Tottenham and Sunderland over there. The Leeds United, Manchester United at the Elland Road. So Manchester, they went there for a business, but eventually Leeds United, they didn't open their doors much for them. So that match also ended up in 1-1 draw over there, which is very good. So let's talk about the Newcastle and Crystal Palace game. Going into this game, personally, I was very optimistic that Crystal Palace, they are not going to get anything out of this game, and it do happen. Newcastle, they have shown that yes, they at the St James's Park, it's not easy for you to score them. So they have shown it again. So it's a 2-0 over there for Newcastle United. Elsewhere at the Craven Cottage, this match, very tricky match. Liverpool and Fulham, or let's say Fulham against Liverpool. the match ended up in 2-2 draw over there. This match, a lot of pundits were very careful about this match, especially those who bet. This was the match that a lot of people were being careful about. So I think they were right, because looking at Liverpool this season, they are in the inconsistency is very, very high, because today they will score, the next day they are losing, the next day they are playing draw. So a lot of pundits were very, very careful about it. So I think it helped them a lot. So that is Fulham Liverpool 2-2, and also at the Hill Dickinson Sports Stadium, Everton at the Hill Dickinson Sports Stadium, they waited for Brentford. So Brentford went there to negotiate with them, and eventually they end up beating them by 4 goals to 2, which is very important. Brentford really need this win to stay in the middle of the table. So it was very important win for them. So looking at the EPL after match day 20, Arsenal, they are still leading with 48 points, which is very good for them. Let's talk about it. Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea, Manchester City. Sorry. So Chelsea, Manchester City. This game, I think it was the biggest fixture in the Premier League, and they have shown, say yes, they are the big boys. So when big boys meet big boys, so they negotiated very well. So in the first half, City, they control the game very well. So which we were all taught that in the second half they will come and kill the game in the second half, but it didn't happen that way. So 90+1, Chelsea, they were able to got the equalizer, so making it 1-1 draw over there for Chelsea. So I think this match is not a match for both of them, but it was a match for Arsenal, because I think this match will also be part of the matches that will determine who will win the league this season. That Manchester City Chelsea match, I think it will be part of the matches that will determine who will win the league, being it Arsenal or Manchester City. So I think this match is very important. But at the end of the day, I think Arsenal, this match was Arsenal game, because they played their match on Saturday. So on Sunday they were looking for the outcome of for the outcome results of this match. So eventually it happens to be that both of them lost 2 points, and it is very important for Arsenal. So looking at it, Arsenal is leading by 48 points, followed by Manchester City with 42 points over there. As usual, Aston Villa this season, they also shown, because in their subsequent matches that they played, this shows that they are league contenders. So being in at the top 4 is nothing new. So I think it's very important for them, because if they continue like this till the end of the season, I think they can give Arsenal a tough time over there. So Arsenal first, Manchester City second, Aston Villa third, Liverpool with 34 points, Chelsea 31, Manchester United 31. So that is what we have for the EPL. So the top scorer, as usual, Erling Haaland with 19 goals, Thiago Rodriguez with 11 goals, and Antoine Semenyo with 9 goals. So that is all for the EPL over the weekend. So let's move on to the La Liga. There were a lot of exciting games over the weekends. So starting with Celta Vigo. Celta at the Celta home ground, they waited for Valencia. So at the end of the day, they end up beating Valencia by 4 goals to 0. So that match was something that a lot of people were talking about, but It ended up Celta end up winning the match. So it's very good win for them. Elsewhere at the Estadio de Vallecas, Rayo Vallecano at the stadium of Vallecas waited for Getafe. At the end of the day, it ended in 1-1 draw over there. Let's move on to Villarreal and Elche. This match at the Estadio de Martinez, Villarreal went all the way to the Elche home ground to beat them by 3-0. I think this win for Villarreal is very, very important win for them, because looking at the table, the league table, at least they have to be at where they are, because subsequently matches that they played very, very well, and I congratulate them for that. We are hoping to see more of that. So they went all the way to Elche home ground to beat them by 3-0. So let's talk about Barcelona and Espanyol. So Barcelona went all the way to the Estadio de RCDC Sports Stadium, which is the stadia of Espanyol. They went and beat them by 2-0. Very important win for Barcelona, because going into this game, it was a tricky game, because Espanyol, the way they played big games, a lot of people were concerned about this game, especially Barcelona going away to play Espanyol. But I think how Barcelona this season, the momentum that they have picked from the beginning of the season up to now, I don't think Espanyol is the team to stop them. So Barcelona went over to all the way to score 2-0 over there. So Sevilla also at the Roman Sanchez Sports Stadium, they waited for Levante. This game, I think this game is something that we need to talk about, because I don't comprehend Sevilla at their home for Levante to come and score them by 2. Not even a single goal for Sevilla, which is very bad, because going into this game, I was not expecting that Sevilla will lose this game, but it is football. So it's football, unless it happened before we believe it. So that is all. That is what also happened at the Sevilla home grounds. So let's talk about the Real Madrid and the Real Betis. Of course, Real Madrid has also shown that indeed, although Barcelona they are on top of the league table, but that will not make them feel like, oh, it is over. So they are also forcing themselves. They are still chasing the league. So going to this game, I was very optimistic that Real Madrid would get the job done, and indeed, they eventually do it with elegance, because when you look at the goals that they score, it was very, very fantastic goals from the players. Gonzalo Garcia getting hat-trick in the game was very, very important for the young man, because in the absence of Kylian Mbappe, he also shown that yes, he can do the job. So I think the win for Real Madrid, it was a win for Gonzalo Garcia rather, because in the absence of their key player, Kylian Mbappe, he went and do the job very nicely by scoring 3 goals. It's not easy. So congratulations to Gonzalo Garcia over there. So Real Madrid beat Real Betis by 5-1 over there. So that is what we have for the La Liga game. So looking at the La Liga table, Barcelona leading with 49 points. Real Madrid with 45 points over there. So I think it's a very, very good games that we have witnessed over the weekend. So the top scorers for Spanish La Liga, as usual, Kylian Mbappe with 18 goals. over there. Ferran Torres with 11 goals, and also Lewandowski with 9 goals. So I think Barcelona, they are not doing bad at all. That is what we have for the Spanish La Liga. Let me take you through to Serie A match day 18. Yes, it happened, and there are certain matches that I was very disappointed in Juventus. To be honest, I think a lot of people were also disappointed as the same as I am, because going to that game, everybody was expecting Juventus to win that game, but they end up playing draw, 1-1 draw with Linz, which is very bad, especially this game. I was not expecting this scoreline, but it's football. All the same, it's football. So Inter Milan went all the way to Cagliari to beat them by 1-0. Sassuolo also waited for Parma, 1-1 over the Genoa with Pisa, 1-1. Atlanta waited for AS Roma, beat them by 1-0 over there. Lazio and Napoli. So Napoli also went all the way to Estadio de Olimpico di Roma. They went there and beat them by 2-0. This game, a lot of drama happened in this game. So, but at the end of the day, Napoli, they have shown that yes, they are league contenders. So they were able to negotiate very, very well with Lazio. So they beat them by 2-0 over there, and which is coming up. So elsewhere, Fiorentina versus Cremonese. So Fiorentina beat them by 1-0, and also Torino also beating Hellas Verona 3-0 over there. And Inter Milan, yes, over there they beat Bologna over there. Bologna over there, yes. So I think this is what we have for the Serie A and the French League. Out to Paris Saint-Germain at their home ground, they were able to negotiate very well with Paris FC. So yeah, I think that is what we have for the week. So you can also go through and check. But my question of the day is, which team do you think he didn't try, or they didn't give you a very good performance over the weekends? Drop your comments at the comment section, because your opinion matters. This is 4stars TV, and indeed this is 4stars Testy Sports, present to you by Kankyenewola. Yes, so that is what we have for the day and over the weekend. These are some of the notable matches that happened. So that is all we have. This is 4stars TV. I'm out.